What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is Will, Fire and Still Barbecue, and today we're going to make the perfect beef short rib from the Lonestar Grillz IVS. Got these from HEB. They're not cheap right now. $8.99 a pound. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little expensive, but there's some good-looking USDA prime ribs. Well, not prime rib, but USDA prime beef ribs. They look real good. We're gonna go ahead and season these guys up. We're gonna throw it on the Lonestar Grillz IVS and see how it goes. But first, let's start that fire. It takes a little while to warm up. Let's go. All right, as usual, I've got the firebox cleared out. I've got two splits in here. This is a post oak split, and I've got a mesquite split, a smaller one right here. And let's fill it up with some charcoal. Alright, we've got the firebox filled up. Only took a second. Got two splits in there, one oak, one mesquite, and charcoal is over here warming up. Use the fire cups we made a few videos back. They worked really well. So if you see some smoke behind me, that's what that is. So anyway, what do we have here? We've got 7.15 pounds of USDA prime beef Dino ribs. Short ribs is what they are. Anyway, let's go ahead and cut this guy open. Alright, so open it up on the back. We're not going to do much on the back here. We'll score it a little bit. Nobody really eats the back, so we'll just score this a little bit. Kind of looks cool, I guess. When you look at this, these are really well marbled. These are going to be really good. See the side right there. Alright, so the fat cap, you don't really have to do a whole bunch with here. I like to get the meat a little bit exposed. I don't like to go too much on these, but let's get them there. I just bought them, so they're not as cold as I'd like to trim them, but all right, these are looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and my coals are getting about there. So I'm going to go ahead and drop those in real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, pit's fired up. Usually takes about an hour to get going. With the wood splits in there, I like to put the meat in there early so it gets some of that dirty smoke. It tastes pretty good. Don't forget to open the valves all the way, the top vent, and let's get this thing seasoned. Alright, so what we've got here is some granulated garlic, diamond crystal kosher salt, 16 mesh ground pepper. This is basically Chud's recipe. So 2 parts 16 mesh ground pepper, 1 part diamond crystal kosher salt, and 1/2 part granulated garlic. So what I do, I've got an extra container that I just mix things in, And so I don't really have to worry about how much, if I'm making too much or whatever. I can always throw a little bit too much in there and it's sitting there next time. All right, so we'll start on the back side here. Oop. I'm not going to do a whole bunch on here. This is mostly just so it looks pretty good. All right. A little bit of wind out here. So with this ratio, you don't have to worry too much about over salting it, just because it's real pepper heavy. So just lay this stuff on. I'm not much of a slather person. You know, there's definitely a time, like if your meat's way too cold or something. That is definitely not the case right now. But we are looking really good. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a minute, and then we're gonna go right into the smoker. We'll do this. We'll be eating tonight. All right. Back. Here's what we're looking like beforehand. You can see real pepper heavy here. Some garlic in there. Kosher salt. That's it. All right, the pit's getting pretty smoky over here. If you're used to this pit at all, you'll know that smoke is not a characteristic of it. So that's what those wood chunks are doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this guy and just toss this guy in. Look at that. There we go. You're cooking with this IVS a lot. It's a good idea to put a pan underneath, just to keep it clean. Use those 2 hands. There we go. I think we made it. All right, so we're gonna put a probe in here, and just to keep an eye on it, I am not going for temperature at all right now. The only thing I'm doing is putting this guy to bed for 3 to 4 hours. We'll see what it looks like. Just let that bark sit in, and then we'll take it from there. Good night. Just a quick update. It's been an hour. The pit's up to about 175. So if I look at the fireboard here, we're at 174.9, which is good, and 103 on the ribs. I'm gonna start shutting this down, so I'll shut this guy down completely. I'm gonna target 225 today. I'm not using the fan. I know the fan's on there, but it's not being used. So we'll see how close we can get this to 225. We're still smoking pretty good. So these ribs have got a good hour of smoke on them, and I'm gonna start. I start closing this down. I've got, you know, those ribs aren't real thick, so I want them to sit in the smoke for as long as they can. You know, 3-4 hours would be nice. They started out about 60 degrees. They're over 100 already, so I'm gonna try to target 225, maybe even a little bit lower, just so they're sitting there for a little bit longer. But more to come. Well, the fireboard's telling me my ribs are probing at 198. So I put this in at 10:40 a.m. Haven't looked at it. I've been watching the temperature. It's 6:40, so they've been in for 8 hours. I haven't even looked at them. Haven't opened this once. Let's take a look. Ooh, Lord. 191. 196. 187. A little tight over on this side. 199 on this side. 190. A little tight over here. Not too bad, but just a little. Anyway, maybe we'll let this go another, I don't know, I don't want to overdo them. Anyway, let's take a look and see what they're looking like. How's that looking, everybody? Look at that fat. It's rendered. It's just dripping out. That bark is looking really good. Actually, I'm gonna take this out and let it sit for an hour. So these are looking real nice right now. There's a little tight in one area over here. I'm gonna let the carryover take care of that. The rest were going about 200 and it felt perfect. That bark, you can't get much better than this, man. Alright, so I'm just going to tent this for an hour, let it sit, and carry over, rest. It'll be good in a second. Alright, here we are. It's time for the money shot. So these have been resting for about an hour and a half. Let's take a look. Just slice right in. This last one always slides over a little bit. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Bring in. You see that? Nicely rendered, good smoke ring. This is money right here. And of course, we have to do the taste test. This is my favorite right here. Perfect. I don't know what to say. This thing comes out perfect every time. And that, my friends, is how you do perfect beef ribs on the Lonestar Grillz IVS. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll do it again here pretty soon. Yeah, take care. Have a good evening. Have a good week, and drive friendly. Take care. Cheers. Bring you in for a drive-by, but I'm out of here. That bark.